Welcome to the Nagual Zone. My name is Anaam. Before we start, I'd like to ask you two questions. Video frequency, as in how many times? Twice a week or the usual regular once a week that I'm doing now? Let me know in the comments. The second one is longer videos, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, or this usual 10, 12 minutes that I somehow manage. Let me know that in the comments. Now, here's a very interesting comment that Peter Siemens wrote on my video titled Cubic Centimeter of Chance. I'll put the link above. Peter says, "Hey Anaam, I have a question that is serious to me. Is there a chance for someone without a benefactor to succeed on the warrior's path? I mean, what other chance does one have who has not met a benefactor than to go on the path of a warrior alone and fight for himself as good as he can, trying not to move too fast, trying not to get lost? I mean, if he does not go, as in if he does not move into the path of a warrior somehow the best way that he can, he is dead anyways. What advice can you give such a lone man?" Thank you for your answer and have a good day. Excellent. I love questions like these. These are authentic questions coming from people's souls, their soul searching, their life journey. And these are the questions I really prefer answering rather than questions which have more to do with in intellectual discussion, which has no interest for me. Is there a chance for someone without a benefactor to succeed on the warrior's path? Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely, yes. Is there a chance for you to win the lottery? Absolutely. There is a chance. Go and buy the ticket, keep buying it, and maybe one day you'll win the lottery. Is there a chance? So yes, there is a chance. Absolutely, there is a chance. No doubt about it. It would be inaccurate, mathematically inaccurate, to say that don't have a chance. Life, first of all, isn't that cruel. Life is a very kind phenomenon. Life is a very kind process. At least that is the way I rock and roll through my controlled folly. It works for me. Life is a kind process. Okay. Let me tell you something. There's a force within you. You are born with this force. You are not entitled to it. You are that force. Okay? You don't have to earn this force. You are born with it. You are this force. And this force will never stop. It is like a juggernaut. It cannot, will not stop, and it will relentlessly, unfailingly, you can trust it 100% to do its job. It will relentlessly and mercilessly move you constantly towards a better version of you, a more evolved version of you, a more aligned version of you. It will never stop. To fight it is futile. The only difference between the average man and the warrior is the warrior recognizes this force within themselves and learns to stop resisting it and move with it. The more if your life is difficult, you're in resistance. Now, difficult doesn't mean outwardly. Difficult means inside, in your inner world. You're in resistance. You're not moving with how life wants you to flow. You're not listening to what life has to say. So keep these things in mind. If, these are the things that we can gauge ourselves with. Okay, coming back to Peter's question. Look, my background is as a trained, how you can call it a trained professional. My background is a trained professional Toltec. Sounds crazy, but it's fairly accurate. So you will have, if you watch my other videos, I'm constantly harping on about formal education. Now, if tomorrow I wanted to become a brain surgeon, a top neurosurgeon, can I read books? Can I purchase medical books from the library, read them, no matter how ardently I wish to be a brain surgeon, and I read those books and I read those books and I read more books, and I'm totally committed, and oh my God, there's no one as disciplined and committed as me in reading these books on becoming a brain surgeon and brain surgery. After all of that, if I go and think I'm a practicing brain surgeon, I'm deluding myself, right? It's the same thing. There are certain things in life which cannot be learned through just hoping and wishing or blind repetition. Doesn't happen. Just repeating, not going to get anywhere. We need education. We need training. And that is always a matter of following an expert. An expert can guide you, teach you, tell you what to do, what not to do, what to avoid, what to look for, right? Otherwise you're left like just bumbling through things. Now, let me remind you what I said. Life is a very kind process. It's a benevolent process. It's a beneficial process. That's why in the Toltec system we call ourselves beneficiaries or benefactors, because all we can do is benefit our apprentices. But the apprentice or the person must recognize the value of training under someone. Okay? Let's really make no bones about it. You can learn to shoot a gun, but that does not make you a special forces operative. It doesn't. Now, if you think a Toltec man, a warrior, is anything less than an absolutely elite trained professional of awareness, if you think that a warrior is anything other than that, other than the absolute elite of elites, the best of the best, then you have very little idea of at least the true Toltec path, the ancient path that I was taught, that I trained in. I was trained in the old ways, and in the old ways the expectations are high and the margin for mistakes is very, very low. It can cost you your sanity at the least, or your life, and you don't want to die those kind of deaths, because a death, dying surrounded by your friends, relatives in a hospital, dying of cancer, that's very, very nice, believe me, compared to the terrifying kind of death with no cause or reason. It came suddenly and you had no idea why, who, how, that you can encounter on the Toltec path. So you need elite training. Elite training can't happen by itself. Okay. Now, I really understand where Peter's coming from. What other chance does one who has not met a benefactor have than to go on the path of a warrior alone? Let me give you an example from my own life. When I was 18 years old, since the age of 18, I've always wanted to be a singer, a musician, earn my money through it, and live a life of a singer and a musician. And I do that. Okay. At the age of 18, I was in Bharat. You can Google it. If you don't know which country I'm talking about, go ahead and Google it. I was in Bharat, 18-year-old guy in college. I believe, I don't know what you guys mean by college, but we have universities in Bharat. I was first year university, and I looked around me. There were all these, I wanted to be in a Western band, a rock and roll band, play guitar and sing, typical 18-year-old dreams. But I was not just, that wasn't a fad for me. I was serious about it. I wanted to earn money from it. And there was no way for a youth of my means, from the background that I came from, to step into that social circle, because those things in those days in New Delhi were the domain of rich kids who could afford these electric guitars, expensive electric guitars and amplifiers, and they were in a band. There was a drummer and a bass player, and they were all public school boys, private school boys, and that kind of thing. I did not come from that background, so it was a virtually unattainable task for me. Here's what I did. I went and started I just asked around. One of my friends, her boyfriend's brother played guitar, didn't even teach it, just played guitar. I asked her, can you introduce me to this guy? I'd like to start learning what he knows. She said he doesn't even know how to teach anyone. I said, that's no problem. He has learned something. I'll learn it. I went and got the cheapest guitar I could find, no clue how to play it. Started going to this guy's house. He didn't know how to teach. But I said, I'll pay you money. Teach me. See the attitude? Don't expect anything for free. I'll pay you money. When the money came into the equation, he started making an effort to teach himself and become better as a teacher so that he could teach me. I benefited from that. Soon after, and I would go home and apply. I would be there 8 hours on the guitar, my fingers almost to the verge of bleeding. I moved on very quickly from there. I said, do you know of anyone else who can teach me a bit more than this? And he said, yeah, I know a professional guitar player and I can introduce you to him. I said, fabulous. Got more money together, went and started taking electric guitar lessons. Went and bought the cheapest electric guitar you could find, virtually unplayable, and a little shitty little amp. It sounded terrible. But you know what? By the time I was finished with that guitar, I could make it sing. Till today, you can give me the cheapest, shittiest guitar with just one 20-year-old raggedy string on it, and I'll entertain you. I'll make it sing. Why? Because I spent hours. And you know what? In those days and still today, this axiom you must keep very close to your heart. Where there is a will, there is a way. Where there is a will, where there is unbending intent, there is a way. So Peter, here's my advice. He says, what advice can you give such a lone man? First of all, I want to applaud you and thank you for commenting here and thinking me important enough or valuable enough to ask my advice. In real life, that's not the case. I stalk too efficiently for that, for people to realize I'm worth anything. Remember this. You must learn unbending intent. Once you understand the value you need, if you're serious, okay, first of all, this must become your priority. Okay? This Toltec path is not for hobbyists. It's not for part-timers. It's not for people who kind of have a love affair with it. It's not for those people. You will learn virtually nothing with that attitude. You must make it your top priority in the sense of nothing else matters. I want this so badly that I'm willing to move heaven and earth to get trained in this. Okay? First, you must arrive at that vibration within yourself. Chances are the average man, the problem is that the average man has never had to flex those muscles in their whole life. People live entitled, me lives, right? I did another video called What is an EMI? Go ahead and watch that one. Very informative. And all of us has been or is an EMI to a lesser or greater degree. So, you must make this your unbending priority. Secondly, learn to wait patiently like a hunter waits in the bush for the animal to approach. This is the same way you must wait. Wait patiently and wait with unbending intent to be trained. Thirdly, be available to grab the opportunity when it comes. Learn to recognize it. Learn to see, there it is. Fourthly, don't be afraid to make mistakes, because you may end up with some idiot who is no good and claims they're some kind of benefactor or whatever. Fine, check them out. Go ahead. You will start seeing, oh, that doesn't work. This doesn't work. Oh, they're a hypocrite. They say something, but they don't even know what they're talking about. Trial and error. Find out. Prove to yourself that this is your priority in life. This is my advice. 4 important points that I can give you. These are not little platitudes. I live by them. This is the exact way my benefactors found me. And these are the exact things they looked in me. They saw he has the necessary attributes to learn. And by the time obviously the Toltec path is no joke. It's taken me a better part of 15 odd years, maybe more. And only after that I was okayed, in a way, okayed to go ahead and do these YouTube videos even, or just take on apprentices of my own. Incidentally, I have 1 slot for an apprentice, so if you're interested, drop a line, comment. It costs money. Make sure you understand that. I'm not a freebie bitch. I'm a highly qualified elite professional, and I charge money. So if that is a problem, if you're not willing to pay for knowledge, you got some very toxic thoughts about money running around and value, exchange of value. You want something for free. It doesn't work like that in this world, my friend. So Peter, hope this answers your question. This is a 20-minute video today. And I hope that it answers the question of a lot of people similar to you. Now, there'll be a lot of disagreement about this. Many will say, oh, but it is possible. I have done it. Okay, great. You've done it. And that's what, works for you. My background is different. My training is different. And I will never stop swearing by my training. I swear by my training. I swear by it. I have seen it's kind of like trying to win the lottery. Someone can say, oh, but I have won the lottery. I won £250 in the lottery the other day. Well, that doesn't make you an elite lottery winner. That doesn't make you a professional gambler that can go to Las Vegas and, there's a level of professionality. I struggle to put this across because people just really don't want to hear this. That in days gone by, apprenticeship was the expected norm. You wanted to be a carpenter, you went and apprenticed yourself to a master carpenter. You wanted to be an architect or learn to weave cloth, you went and apprenticed yourself to a cloth weaver. You wanted to play chess professionally, you went and learned from a chess master, grandmaster. In the olden days, this was not even a question. But nowadays, I find a lot of people think that by watching videos like mine, believe me, my videos will give you nothing. They are purely stalking on my part. I can assure you of that. It's there you go. I've given away the thing, but you won't remember this for long anyway. These videos will give you nothing. At least not on the level at which an elite warrior functions. Okay, it may remind you of some basics. It may remind you of certain ways which are better than others. These kind of things, right? Very, very light. But the real thing comes from training. So Peter, remember this. Wait patiently and have an unbending intent. And I promise you, the right people will find you, the right benefactors will find you, or you will have become magnetized. Magnetized. You will start walking towards, start taking action, start moving towards someone who can help you and guide you on. Okay. A very involved topic, lots of dissent. I know there's a lot of lone wolves out there who, I'm not putting anyone down, but in my experience, I've seen a lot of people, all of us love to pretend that we are better than we really are. We really love to do this. So, it's left to all of us to self-assess. Time is the great revelator, and death is the greatest revelator of them all. We don't want to leave revelations about ourselves to time or our death. We want to learn to be brutally honest with ourselves and really see, okay, where am I at with this? Is this really my priority? Or watching Anaam's videos is just good enough for me? None of it is better or worse. But are you consciously making those decisions? Are you really aware of where you're at with all this? Leave a comment. Leave me your thinking on this topic. What do you think? I'm not saying it's not possible, but I'm saying that from my background and my extensive experience dealing with human beings of every manner, all walks of life, and over an extended period of time, I know that some things simply cannot be attained, some educations, some levels cannot be gained without proper instruction. It's the way it is. I don't make those rules. That's the way it is. With that, stay connected, walk in freedom. I'll see you next week. Bye for now.